Second International RIAC Conference on Sino-Russian Relations took place on May 30th and 31st. It is a continuation of the fruitful dialogue that was launched last year. Just like last time, the conference was attended by prominent government officials, leading experts, and business people. The participants in the conference assessed the current state of Sino-Russian relations, identifying the main achievements and revealing unresolved problems in bilateral interaction. The agenda of Sino-Russian relations is actually very broad. We still do not quite understand each other always, and in what ways we can be useful to each other. Or, to put it another way, how our positions may coincide and how we can discuss our differences. But at least an honest and open conversation, and what is more, an international conversation involving international experts, which was not the case last year, is, I think, a step in the right direction. Based on the results of the conference, proposals are to be prepared for the political leaders of Russia and China on the development of strategic partnership. The first day of the conference saw expert sessions that were very hands-on in character and touched upon key areas of cooperation between Russia and China. This year, far more people from outside Russia attended the conference, and there was a much larger Chinese delegation. That alone shows that there is genuine interest in the forum and that it is really important, because while there is no shortage of communication between Russian and Chinese representatives at the official level, there is still not enough communication at the level of political scientists and experts. Yet such communication is extremely important, because it is informal and makes it possible to focus on more pressing problems. In other words, this is not a token event, but one that is intended to provide recommendations on matters where not enough is being done at the official level, matters which call for new thinking and where the public and independent experts may help. The issues of economic integration in the Eurasian space were discussed in the context of the prospects for joint development of the Eurasian Economic Union and the Silk Road Economic Belt. It is hard to say at this point, of course, the extent to which they might interact and combine. Expert opinions still vary on that. Leaders think all this is possible. But so far, unfortunately, these projects are on an early stage, and the going is not easy. There are many problems. In fact, China has only just announced its project. Efforts must be stepped up to provide it with specific content. What exactly do we mean by synergy? It is still unclear. I would say that our official bodies are too slow. The expert community has more room for identifying the exact areas where synergy is possible. Russia and China are actively developing new instruments within the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, BRICS, and other international institutions. Can the existing mechanisms of bilateral and multilateral cooperation meet the economic and political challenges? Regional security was the subject of a separate session. The region is clearly splitting. The region is being split between China and the United States, which are vying with each other for influence and political leadership, while the other countries have to tailor their policies to this model. This applies to the East China and South China Seas. In fact, we are witnessing the beginning of a major naval arms race, which Russia is also joining. If Russia really wants to become a European Pacific power, it definitely needs to work out a strategy or position, not on the substance of the disputes, but on how to resolve them, because they will, in any case, poison the atmosphere of peace, undermine security, and impede trade and economic cooperation. The consensus among experts is that there is vast untapped potential for cooperation in education, science, and technology. There are great prospects for cultural contacts between Russia and China, humanitarian interaction, and civil society development. Expert sessions on May 31st laid a substantial foundation for continued high-level discussions. I don't think the discussion will solve all the problems, but at the very least, it is important that these problems are discussed thoroughly and openly so as to eliminate any myths about the other party's intentions or the intentions of other external actors, notably the United States. And experts have a clear and absolutely objective understanding of the ongoing processes, although, of course, the subjective opinions and decisions of top leaders influence all these processes, and the views of experts should be clearly presented to decision-makers in both countries.